Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Essence, and in today's video we are going to be creating this look right here just in time for Thanksgiving. So if you're last minute like me and you really don't know what to do, hopefully this video can bring you some inspiration. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm not going to make this intro too long. I just want to say I love each and every one of you. If you guys are not part of the family, this is your first video, you like what you see, definitely make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to click that little bell so you can be notified every single time I upload, which is every Wednesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Start off with the eyes today, and of course I already primed my lids. I used the NARS Soft Matte Concealer, you guys know, holy grail. Also, don't mind my little pimple cream up here. This is the Mario Badescu drawing lotion. That's just gonna sit on my face until I'm ready to work on my base. And today's palette of choice is the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is her palette with Morphe, the bigger one. It's been around for a while, but I feel like this is definitely a staple in my makeup collection, so I definitely pull it out from time to time and use it. And I'm pretty sure you guys can still get your hands on it. I've seen it in Morphe stores do have it, I know, in Florida, but here my Ulta does have it. So we're just gonna dip into this palette. I think the first shade that I'm gonna grab is the third one over. These shades do have names, but don't nobody got time to be looking at the back of the palette to see the shade names. It's just too much work right now, so I just point them out to you guys. But I'm just gonna put this generously in my crease and just kind of use it as my light transition color. I don't think we're gonna go in with anything too dark today. It's super early, so if I'm a little tongue twisted, that's why. I'm just gonna throw this in my crease and then move on to the next shade. So as you guys can see, it didn't really add much of anything, like you can't really see it, but it will help with the blending and all of that. So the next shade I'm gonna grab is right underneath it. It's a little bit darker, and I'm just gonna go in with that same brush. This is the M513 from Morphe, and I'm also gonna place this generously in my crease as well, and it's just gonna give it a nice, like slightly darker look to the eyeshadow, and again just help with the blending. If you wanted to, you could totally skip the first shade and just go in with this second shade as your transition color. I love the process of building up shadows and shades and just mixing them together. So this shadow definitely shows up a little bit more on my skin tone. Now the next shade I want to grab is gonna be this one right here. It's like an orange brown shade. And I'm gonna take this on a Essence, eye blender brush. I recently picked these brushes up. They were like buy one get one half off, and they were $1.99, so very affordable. And I'm definitely interested in seeing how this brush performs. This is definitely my first time using this brush, but if I could find really affordable brushes that work really well, then why not? So I picked up a few of these. So far it seems to be blending out the product very nicely. I'm also putting this in my crease, but I'm also going to take this on the outer corner as well and just start building up that outer corner. I feel like this brush is doing a really nice job blending out these shadows, and I kind of like how it stays a little in the crease but below that other shadow. Sometimes your brush, like your blending brush that you choose to use, can be too fluffy to where it goes a little bit over the crease, and I really didn't want that. So it's really helping me to keep the shadow low and still blend it out at the same time. I'm going to take that first brush that we were using, and I'm going to dip into this shadow right here, which I really love. It's like a yellow but also a mustard kind of yellow, and I'm going to use this shadow just a little bit, so I'm going to make sure I'm tapping off my brush quite a bit, and I'm going to use this to help blend out everything. So the very most outer part of all of this eyeshadow, I'm just going to take that shadow and use that to help me blend. Using this shadow will not only help blend everything out, but it will also help to kind of like brighten up this look a little bit. It adds a little bit of light to it, That way it doesn't look too dark and makes it daytime wearable, because you know, you don't want nothing too dark. You want it to be wearable for daytime. And the last shade that we're going to use before like a shimmer is going to be this one right here. This darker orange right above this like reddish shade. And we're just going to use a little bit of that in like the outermost corner, just to deepen that up just a little bit. So I'm just tap, 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 and then trying to blend it out slightly. Normally I would use like an M507 brush for this because it's so tiny and it gets super precise. But all of those brushes are dirty, so I will have to go back in with my original brush that I was using to begin with, just to blend all this out even more. But I'm not adding too much of that shadow that I just picked up on this brush to these outer corners, because again, I don't want to make it too dark. Just add a little bit of depth in that outer corner. And then for our lid shade, I'm going to go in with the shade right next to that final shade that we grabbed. This shimmer shade right here. I think it's like a orange kind of shimmer. And I'm going to press that down here. I'm not swiping this shadow on my lid. I'm literally just pressing it on. And I'm doing so with a dry brush right now. And then I'll go back on top with my brush wet. And I did bring it up a little bit into my crease. Just on this inner part though. So that's basically what it looks like without spraying the brush down. Now I'm just going to dip my brush into the product. And then I'm going to spray with some Fix Plus. And then I'm going to reapply this in the same area that I applied it before. And as you guys can tell, hopefully you can, but it's giving it a more melted look. And since the brush is wet, it's a little easier to like smudge it a little bit versus when it's dry, because it doesn't create as much fallout, if any. So, wet, dry. Definitely prefer it wet. So off camera, I did use a little bit of this shadow. This one belongs in the pan. As you guys can see, I am missing 2 shades. So I don't know if it goes here or here. I'm guessing it goes here, but it looks like this. It's like a little pink glitter kind of shade. And I just took a little bit on my finger and then I just pressed this on top just for an extra little touch of shimmer and to brighten it up just a little bit. I think it looks super gorgeous, super pretty. So just did that, and now I want to kind of do like a wing, not a wing liner, but kind of smoke out the outer edges. So what I'm gonna do is grab this dark burgundy shade right here, and I'm gonna grab a liner brush because I'm gonna take very, very little of this. I am going to pull on my eyelid just a little, and I'm going to run this along the outer edge of my eye. I'm going to take a really teeny tiny brush like this. I'm just going to use that to blend it out a little more. It's not doing a whole lot, like I said. It's just doing a little something something. So I'm going to apply mascara now. I'm going to use my Tarte Big Ego. And then I'm going to apply some falsies. I think I'm going to go with the Sephora Collection Lashes and Fringe for today's look. And then we'll be back to finish off the face, start on the base, and all that good stuff. So now we are back. Lashes are on, and we're ready to move on to our face. I did moisturize already, but now I'm going to apply some SPF. This is the Ulta MD. This is a physical sunscreen. I really, really love this sunscreen right here. It has SPF 46 in it, and I definitely prefer this over a chemical sunscreen. So I'm going to apply some of this to my face. When applying your sunscreen, you want to make sure that you are applying a generous amount, not just like a little bit. And even if it's not you know, sunny outside, you still need to be applying that SPF, I'm telling you. So I'm just gonna apply this generously to my face. And in case I didn't say it, this SPF is for acne prone skin, which is what I have, so that's why I got this one. But they have different ones that you can choose from. I just suggest that you look and see which one you want to try or what best suits your skin type. I did purchase this from Walmart. I got it online. They do not have it in store, at least at my Walmart. So it will have to be an online purchase, but that is such a good brand, you guys. Oh my gosh. So if you like physical sunscreen, definitely check out Ulta MD. For primer today, I'm going to go in with the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. I've been using the Hydro Grip Primer a lot, and I figured for this video I would switch it up. That way it doesn't seem so repetitive. You guys know I love using the Under Eye Brightening Cream. I think it has vitamin C in it, I'm pretty sure. But it basically goes with this line. There's the under eye cream, there's this primer, and I believe there is a moisturizer. I only have the primer and the under eye cream, of course, but I'm just gonna use this all over my face, and it's gonna provide a nice subtle kind of glow from within kind of look on the skin. So that's nice. And then I still am going to put a little bit of powder on my face. It's just what I love to do. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Maybelline. This is their powder in light medium. I go between this one and the dark or medium dark tone shade. So I'm just going to take a light layer of this, kind of like setting my primer. Even though this primer isn't like a tacky based primer, I find that using powder underneath my foundation, just in case you guys are watching my videos for the first time, but using powder underneath my foundation definitely allows my makeup to last longer. And this is Thanksgiving, so we definitely want our makeup to last. For foundation, I did pick up a new shade in the NARS Natural Radiant. You guys know that's my like holy grail foundation right there. So I picked up the shade Stromboli. It is a lot lighter, but I'm definitely lighter in skin tone, so if anything, I'll mix in a little bit of Syracuse if I need to darken it. But I'm hoping that this will be like my perfect shade. So I'm still going to take a couple of pumps on the back of my hand. This is a new foundation, so you do gotta pump for a little bit before you get product out. And then I'm gonna press this on my face like in little dots without mixing any other shade. Let's see. This might be a little too light, so I'm gonna mix in a little bit of Syracuse in with the foundation and see if I can kind of make a custom shade, because I feel like Syracuse isn't like the perfect match, but it works. Also, side note, this is the Morphe sponge that I don't really like. I know I've said before, but I don't feel like Morphe made their sponges all the same. Some of them are different. And I have one that's softer than the other one, but I have a lot of dirty brushes. If I could pay someone to wash my beauty sponges and my makeup brushes, I so would, because I hate it. I know I look a little pale, but believe me, it's all gonna come together. It's not really as bad as you think in person. I don't have any like extra brightness going on with my camera. Like my brightness isn't up, it's actually at 0, and I still look kind of light, but believe me, it matches, you guys. So now I'm gonna go in with Juvia's Place concealer in the shade number 16. This is one of their newer concealers that they came out with a while ago, and I'm just now getting around to using it. And I'm just gonna apply that underneath my eyes. Okay, so this isn't bad. It's not looking like dark underneath our eyes, so that's good. It's definitely a full coverage concealer. So I feel like the concealer blended out pretty effortlessly. It was actually honestly very, very easy to blend out, and it is full coverage. So definitely love that. I forgot to color correct. I was going to use this Pixie by Petra brightening cream. This is like a color corrector in a little pot form. Forgot to use that, but I think the concealer concealed things up pretty nicely, so hey, guess I didn't need it. Now I'm going to set my under eyes before they start creasing. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty powder. This is the banana bread powder, and I did cut like a little slit in mine so that way I can get the powder up easily, because I like the mesh, but I don't at the same time, because I don't get as much powder as I would like. So I'm just gonna take my sponge, set underneath my eyes, and I am not baking. I'm just gonna press this all to my skin, just kind of matte things down. Also, I really want to make sure that I'm setting like my T-zone area and all the places where I know for sure I'm gonna get oily. I have not used this bronzer in a while, and I saw it sitting in my drawer, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna use this because it's been a minute, and I feel like it's gonna be the perfect amount of warmth, especially for this look that we have today. I would use that new brush that I got from BoxyCharm because I absolutely love it. Like, I really love it. I feel like it really helps chisel out my cheeks and everything, but it's dirty. I'm gonna use this Moda brush, which I also received in a BoxyCharm box before. And I'm gonna put this on there and just use this just to bring some color back to my face because we need it. I am going to use my Hoola Benefit bronzer just to bronze up my nose, or contour I should say, my nose. This one is definitely a little bit more cool tone compared to the Morphe one that I just used. And I definitely don't like to use anything too warm on my nose because it's supposed to be a contour, right? And contour is not warm toned, so I'm just gonna use this really quickly. While I let that sit, I'm gonna go over my brows with this e.l.f. Wild Brow just to kind of bring them back to life, revive them a little bit from all that powder. I really, really love this stuff. This Wild Brow is definitely a game changer, and it's super affordable. So if you're looking for a good product to keep your brow hairs in place, definitely invest in the e.l.f. Wild Brow. So for the lower lash line, we're going to keep it super simple. I am going to take one shade from a different Jaclyn Hill palette, but the first shade I'm going to grab is going to be this darker orange shade, and I'm just going to smudge that on my lower lash line. Now you could just take all the shades that we use at the top, bring it down to the bottom. Super simple, call it easy, one palette, but I'm not going to do that today. So first, like I said, I'm going to take this shade and just smudge it across the bottom. In the Jaclyn Hill Ring the Alarm palette, I'm going to take Framed on like this flat definer brush, and I'm going to push this closest to my waterline. I really like taking this shade in this palette and pushing it up against my waterline. I don't know, it's something about this shade that I really, really love, so I'm just going to press that all along my eye. And even though we didn't use this at the top of our lid, it definitely creates some depth on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to take that brush we were using before, no added product, and just kind of use this to smudge all of this out. And then finally, I'm going to grab a little bit of the orange, yellow, mustard shade, and I'm just going to take some of that on a little bullet brush. I'm going to use that just to blend everything out a little bit more and bring it down just a little bit. That way it's not too dark with all those other shades, but also because we used it at the top to brighten things, so just trying to create that balance and bring it down at the bottom. So I am going to highlight before blush today, and I'm going to use the NARS highlighter in Ibiza. And of course, I'm just going to pop that on my nose, as well as like the center part. And I'm going to put it underneath my brow bone, of course, to just add some brightness there. And in my inner corner, you guys know, typically I just like to use my highlighter for my inner corner of my brow bone. Just make it all the same, so everything just flows continuously together. If you wanted a more intense highlighted look, you can definitely spray your brush down with a little bit of Fix Plus spray. And then I'm gonna grab a different brush to highlight my cheek area. I feel like sometimes when applying highlight, doing it before my blush just allows it to kind of like blend better. With this one, I really don't have that problem. Like with it looking stark and harsh, you can actually build this highlighter up to the intensity that you want it to, but I like putting blush on afterwards sometimes. Then I'm gonna grab my Blushing in Bali palette, and I'm gonna just mix these two lighter pink shades right here for my blush. I feel like these two blushes complement that shimmer shade that we put on last with our finger at the end. It definitely gives me those vibes, especially with that golden highlight underneath. And of course, I'm going to wipe off this lovely bake that I got sitting on the side of my nose. Finally, for our lips, I think I'm just gonna line them, and I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in BFF. And I'm just going to use this just to line and fill in my lips. Okay beauties, so this is the finished and final makeup look. I really enjoyed creating it. If you guys were one of the few that were looking for some inspiration for Thanksgiving tomorrow, definitely let me know if this was helpful. Hopefully it was. I feel like it was super easy to create and it didn't really take much time at all. It's definitely daytime friendly where it's not too dark and vampy, so it's appropriate for the daytime, and you can definitely add a little bit more depth and color just to smoke it out and make it darker and more vampier if you wanted that look, or if you want it for, you know, nighttime and want it to be nighttime appropriate. Although you can wear anything at any point in the day. But I hope it was helpful. I did use the Jaclyn Hill palette in today's tutorial just because I wanted to use something that was around for a while and that a lot of people may or may not have in their collection. Also, a lot of the shades and shadows that I did use out of that palette you can probably find in other ones. So hopefully you're able to recreate it. If you do recreate this makeup look, definitely tag me, whether it's on Instagram or Twitter. I will be reposting all of your makeup looks to my Instagram stories, those of you who do tag me, of course. Again, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for supporting me and watching my channel and watching me grow. It's been a journey, and I'm just gonna keep on pushing forward. I love you guys so much. Let's not get too sappy. And I will see you guys super soon in the next video or vlog, whichever one comes first.